All right, so today I'm going to be changing the front wheel bearings on this is a 21 Pro XP. You'll know if you need wheel bearings when you start having some play in the front. I noticed actually, I don't know how, it's kind of weird that this happened, but both of my wheel bearings in the front, I found play at like the exact same time. This has about 1,600 miles on it. Wheel bearings have never been done, so I guess in Polaris's world, I got a good amount of miles out of them. Honestly, I've heard of a lot of people getting less miles on that, so I'm pretty happy with it. How are you going to know if you need to do the wheel bearings? It's just kind of grabbing and seeing some side-to-side play. I don't know if you can hear that, but yeah, these are pretty shot. All right, so first I'm going to get this thing jacked up, get the tires off it. Before I do that, I just wanted to show you, there is a tool SuperATV sells. I just bought it. I've never tried it before. Usually you're going to need a press to get these bearings out, and unless you have one, you're kind of screwed. So you can buy the tool that SuperATV sells. It's right here. This is going to help you using like a 1/2-inch drive impact to get the bearings in and out. Another thing that I like to do is put the bearings in the freezer. Metal, it's cold, shrinks. Gonna make the bearing slide in a lot easier. So go ahead and throw them in the freezer a couple hours before you decide to do the job. Should make it a little bit easier. Now that I got it jacked up, you can definitely see how bad these are. Look at the movement on this. Pretty bad. All right, we got the wheels off. It's up on the jack stands. We just lowered it down onto the jack stands and leave the jack under there. Just why not, just in case. Next thing we're gonna do is get the knuckles off. So let's pull these knuckles off. We're gonna take the caliper off, tie rod end, and then upper and lower ball joints, as well as the axle nut. If you don't have a 1/2-inch impact, it's gonna be fun. All right, so got the hub off. Let's see. So most of these were 15s. 2 bolts that go through the ball joints are 15s. 2 bolts that go through the caliper also 15s. I have some aftermarket L&W tie rods. I'm not really sure what the stock top bolt is. I think I used a 3/4 to get that off. And then the axle nut. Like I said, you probably want a 1/2-inch drive impact, but that's a 30 mil. All right, so the inside of the hub here, you can see there is a snap ring. Start by getting that out of there, and then we'll start getting this thing apart. All right, next we got to get the snap ring out of here. Went and got some Harbor Freight specials. Just do that. And side note, getting this part off the hub, it's a lot easier. You just leave it connected. So first thing you do, take the wheel off, take the axle nut off, and then wiggle that rotor, that part off of the hub. It's a lot easier than doing it off of the car. All right, I got the snap ring out. I had to kind of start prying it, then grab a flathead to get it out there. But now I got this in the vise. I got the tool set up. What you're gonna do is, there is a thick side and a smaller side. On the smaller side, you put that black O-ring that comes with there. Then you put it on the into the bearing. Then you do your washer. Then you do the nut. Leave the most amount of threads on this side, and then the least amount on the inside. This is where the bearing's gonna pull through on the inside. This is where your axle goes in. So this is the inside of the hub. This is where the bearing's gonna pull through. This is the outside where your axle nut goes. This is where the bearing's gonna be pushed through. feels like it's gonna explode. I guess the bearing's out. Let's see what we got here. This thing's probably pretty hot. All right, well, it did go all the way through. So let's see. Yep, that looks like a bearing is out now. And man, she's hot. As you can see, the bearing kind of completely went apart. Got a bunch of ball bearings going everywhere. But yeah, it seemed to have worked. Let's get that bearing out of there and get the new one in. All right, so now this is exactly the opposite. Put this piece on here. Remember we had the rubber grommet on this side. Now put it on the bigger side. Put your new wheel bearing in. Flip this around opposite, and hopefully it should go in. Right here. Let's see if this works. That was easy. Definitely freezing it helps. All right, now new bearings in there. Don't forget, put the snap ring back in. Go ahead and put it back on the car. All right, got this thing all back together. Nice and tight up front. Yeah, honestly, I do feel like freezing the bearing helped a lot, because when I took it off, I mean, you could see it took a very, very long time. And when I put the new bearing in, it was like super easy. So freezing it is definitely something I would do. And yeah, well, we're all set now. Everything's back together. I hope that was helpful for you guys putting wheel bearings in your Pro. I'm sure this is the same thing for a Pro XP or a regular XP or an XP Turbo. They're all pretty much the same design, same thing. So I'm sure you can use this video for another car if you have something a little bit different than mine. As always, thank you for watching the video. I really do appreciate it. And again, I hope it was helpful. If you guys could consider subscribing, I do a ton of side-by-side stuff, race car stuff. I'm sure if you check out the channel, there'll be something on there that you like. Thanks again.